Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks everyone for being here. We have, as this is January, so a lot of important items to cover this morning in various agendas of our various organizations. We're going to start with the Mortgage Insurance Committee meeting, and we'll ask Lauren to do the honors. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning. I note that Todd Sherman, representing Robert Mujica, Director of the Division of the Budget, is participating in the meeting via video conference from the New York State Division of the Budget Conference Center at the Capitol Building, room 131 in Albany. I'd like to request a motion and a second to call to order the January 25, 2018 meeting of the Sonny Mae Mortgage Insurance Committee. The motion and second recorded will be used for all action items before the committee unless specific items call for a different vote or unless committee member wishes to record his or her vote differently. Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
The minutes of the meeting of the Mortgage Insurance Committee held on December 14, 2017 shall be deemed approved absent corrections from the directors.
The meeting will move to the Mortgage Insurance Committee program action items. So we'll go to item number 2, which is a resolution recommending approval of 100% mortgage insurance on a $26,585,000 HFA permanent first mortgage loan for Southwest Apartments in Mount Vernon, Westchester County. And Mike Friedman, as usual, will do the honors of describing the project.
Good morning. Southwest Apartments comprises the construction of 189 all affordable units and 4,000 square feet of commercial space adjacent to the Mount Vernon West train station on Metro North. The project is being developed by McQuestion Development, which is a prolific and well-regarded developer of affordable housing in Westchester and the Bronx. This is the 5th loan that we'll insure for entities controlled by McQuestion with total exposure of $62 million. The insured loan amount is $141,000 per unit, which equals 29% of the project's total development cost of $486,000 per unit. And the project would break even with a pro forma 14% vacancy and collection loss or a 25% increase in operating expenses.
Thank you, Mike. Is this Lauren? This is you or me?
This is me. If there are no questions, we'll do
Yes.
the solution. Unless there are questions.
Any questions for Mike on this item?
Then the resolution before the Mortgage Insurance Committee is recommending approval of mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for Southwest Apartments, 22 Southwest Street, Mount Vernon, Westchester County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 The motion is carried.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Mike. Next is item 3, resolution recommending approval of 100% mortgage insurance on a $10,170,000 HFA permanent first mortgage loan for Eastman Reserve, Rochester, Monroe County. Mike?
Eastman Reserve comprises the construction of 187 all affordable units, of which 27 are special needs units that will receive operating and rent subsidy through the Empire State Supportive Housing Initiative Program. The project will also receive a 30-year pilot agreement with the City of Rochester. The project is being developed by Pathstone, a not-for-profit founded in 1969, which has previously developed 52 projects with almost 2,600 units of affordable housing. This will be the 7th loan that we've insured for entities controlled by Pathstone with total exposure of $47 million. The insured loan amount is $54,000 per unit, which equals 20% of the project's total development cost of $271,000 per unit.
Anyone have any questions for Mike on this project? We discussed it in our prep session for the chairman yesterday, and at the time I commented, and I think others agree, this is a really good project and really important for Rochester and really remarkable because of the site, Eastman Business Park, and that it's so much supportive housing in such a location. I mean, it just, it checks all the boxes. It's a really exciting and important project, and it's good to see the City of Rochester has the pilot agreement for 30 years. I mean, everybody's contributing to this in many terrific ways. Any questions or comments for Mike on this? If not, Lauren, do the honors.
The resolution before the Mortgage Insurance Committee is recommending approval of mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for Eastman Reserve, 50 and 59 Goodwill Street, Rochester, Monroe County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 And the motion is carried.
Thank you, everybody. Item 4 has been deferred. Item 5, resolution approving 100% mortgage insurance on a $5,900,000 HFA permanent forced mortgage loan for 3500 Park Avenue in the Bronx. Mike?
This project comprises the construction of 115 all low-income units, of which 69 will be supportive housing units through the Empire State Supportive Housing Initiative. The project is being developed by The Bridge, which is an experienced provider of mental health, social service, and housing in New York City. The insured loan amount is $51,000 per unit, which equals 13% of the project's total development cost of $409,000 per unit. The project will break even with a pro forma 10% vacancy loss or a 7% increase in operating expenses.
Thank you, Mike. Anybody have any questions for Mike on this project in the Bronx? If not, we'll move to Lauren.
The resolution before the Mortgage Insurance Committee is approving mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for 3500 Park Avenue, Bronx County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 The motion is carried.
Thank you. Thank you both. Item 6 takes us to the southern tier until Elmira. It's a resolution approving 100% mortgage insurance on a $6,500,000 CPC permanent first mortgage loan for West Water Street development in Elmira, Chemung County. Mike?
This project comprises the development of 51 workforce housing units. It's a heavily subsidized project. The project has been awarded a $4 million downtown revitalization initiative grant and a $2.3 million Restore New York grant. Has a pilot agreement with Chemung County IDA. It's being developed by Park Grove Realty, which has previously developed 4 projects with 105 units. And the principals of Park Grove are both alumni of Conifer Realty. The insured loan amount is $127,400 per unit, which equals 46% of the project's total development cost of $277,000 per unit. The project would break even with a pro forma 17% residential vacancy or 27% increase in operating expenses, and would also break even with only half of the commercial space vacant, only half of the commercial space occupied.
Thank you, Mike. Directors have any questions or comments on this project in Elmira?
Just, I wondered if you could provide a little bit more color on the Downtown Revitalization Initiative grant. It's a very large commitment of the $10 million grant in this particular region. I was just curious, you know, obviously it's a really important project in their plan.
I think that what makes this project attractive is the combination of both workforce housing units and commercial space. And I think the 17,000 square feet of commercial space.
They see that as a game changer
Yeah,
downtown.
hopefully.
Right.
And from an underwriting perspective, it breaks even with only half the space occupied, which, you know, in Elmira is not impossible.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, David. Just for recognizing the importance of geographic distribution of our state's resources, I think at our last meeting we approved financing and/or mortgage insurance for a manufactured home park not far away. So it's good to be focusing on this area of the state, to be sure. I note $150 a square foot. Construction costs must be significantly lower in Chemung County than they are in the Bronx,
Yeah.
for example. Building a
Right.
whole new building, 4 stories for $150 a square foot is pretty impressive. Any other questions or comments for Mike on this project? If not, Lauren, please do the honors.
The resolution before the Mortgage Insurance Committee is approving mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for West Water Street Development, 100 West Water Street, Elmira, Chemung County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
The motion is carried.
Thank you. Number 7 is a resolution approving 100% mortgage insurance on a $3,050,000 CPC permanent first mortgage loan for Energy Square in Kingston in Ulster County. Thank you, Mike.
This project is a 9% credit project with credits awarded through DHCR. It is also a heavily subsidized project. There's a $2.4 million Housing Trust Fund subsidy loan, a $2 million HCR Community Incentive Fund loan, a $550,000 Middle Income Program loan, and a $1 million NYSERDA grant. The project is being developed by RUBCO, formerly the Rural Ulster Preservation Corporation. RUBCO currently owns or manages 429 units of affordable housing. The insured loan amount is $53,500 per unit, which equals 14% of the project's total development cost of $386,000 per unit. The project would break even with a 15% vacancy and collection loss, and with all of the community, facility, and commercial space vacant.
Very good. Questions for Mike on this project in Kingston?
No, I would just add a comment that I think this is by virtue of its name, Energy Square, right? It's sort of like a heavily sort of net zero-y
Yes.
kind of project, which is sort of nice to see more and more of those as we go along.
Didn't this have a contribution from NYSERDA for the?
It has $1 million
That's
from
what I thought.
NYSERDA
Yeah.
They're gonna do it
for
through,
the
which we don't
new
often,
technology.
yeah, we don't often see LEED because it's not as sort of friendly
Yeah.
to sort of affordable, low-rise housing, and I think this also has some sort of solar.
I think it's a heat
Yeah.
exchange, right? You dig a big hole in the ground,
Yeah.
and circulate right?
water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's good to see NYSERDA funding in a project like this.
Yeah,
And, as you-
we're trying to do more with them as we
Yeah.
can.
Excellent. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are there questions or comments from anybody on this project? Hearing none, we'll go to Lauren.
The resolution before the Mortgage Insurance Committee is approving mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for Energy Square, 20 Cedar Street, Kingston, Ulster County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
The motion is carried.
8 is a resolution approving an $890,000 increase to mortgage insurance on a CPC permanent first mortgage loan for Camillus Mills in Camillus, which is in Onondaga County. And that means the amount changes or increases from $3,960,000 to $4,850,000. Mike, will you walk us through this one, please?
Sure. This is a project that was a loan on a project that was originally approved in June of 2016. The increase, requested increase in the loan amount is due to increased construction costs largely associated with remediation of brownfield remediation costs. The original, as originally underwritten back in June of 16, there was 1.7 million in equity in the project. There's now 2.5 million in equity. So the increased loan amount is to cover increased costs of construction. It's not to reduce developer equity. The income to expense ratio as a result of the increase will decline from 1.31 to 1.18, still in excess of the required 1.10. The project as originally underwritten was an interesting project. It was the conversion of the readaptation of a historic manufacturing headquarters building, Camillus Cutlery, into 29 residential units and 7,500 square feet of commercial space. And the project would break even with all of the commercial space vacant.
Just curious, Mike, and maybe our colleagues in the Syracuse office know, a project like this, is there any way, it doesn't get a pilot from either Camillus or, I guess Camillus is the township.
Yeah.
I'm wondering who, is that just not possible?
You know, it got a 485A, which I think it's an as-of-right tax abatement for mixed-use downtown projects.
Okay.
So the combination of both residential and commercial on the ground level.
Right.
I think the plus and minus of those, as far as I understand them, is I think they're year by year. So I think unlike some of our other projects where you would get like a 10-year pilot or something, I think
Right.
the 485, like the other one we use sometimes, is, you know, you have to sort of go back year by year, but it's,
And this, the 485A is to encourage downtown mixed use with ground floor retail.
Which is what's happening in this project.
Yeah.
right? No, it seems like a really nice project.
Yeah.
Questions or comments, or anything from our colleagues in Syracuse who know the project, I'm sure?
I had one question, which is I noticed that under loan to value that the calculation is pending.
We haven't gotten a new appraisal. It'll be a condition precedent to insurance effectiveness.
So of 80% or?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Great, very good. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, David. Lauren?
The resolution before the Mortgage Insurance Committee is approving modifications to mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for Camillus Mills, 52 to 54 Genesee Street, Town of Camillus, Onondaga County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 The motion is carried.
Lauren, thank you. And Mike, thank you. Those are all really terrific projects. Item 9 is an information item that Mike is going to present to us.
The mortgage recording tax for December was $14.85 million, which is $2 million higher than it was the same month last year or the year before. So the sort of downward trend we were seeing this year may be reversing. It's probably too soon to tell, but it's a good sign.
The directors and I appreciate your optimism.
Right. We will see.
There's a chart in the materials we were given for today's meeting with the 5-year,
Yeah.
sort of trend of
Yeah.
the mortgage recording tax.
Yeah, we're,
And it's not trending in a good direction,
no,
right?
we're 11 million, there are 3 months to go in the state fiscal year. We're 11 million less than last year, and last year was 11 million less than the year before that.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Let's see.
We'll see.
Very good. Well, Mike and Lauren, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There is no further business, so I'll call please for a motion to adjourn.
And assuming the first and seconds previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. The meeting is adjourned.
All right. Thank you both.